What's happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with Neverstate.com, and for this video I was going to talk to you guys about how to make money on YouTube. And then I realized that my YouTube channel really doesn't make money. And trust me, if I ever find out that information, I will be sure to share it. But that's the exact same reason why I clicked on this. I thought some jerk was going to be telling me how to make money on YouTube. So I just want to take a couple minutes and talk to you guys about my journey in YouTube, especially in the past year, because that's really when my channel started taking off. For those of you who do not know, I've actually had this channel for over 6 years. I suppose if you broke that down, that's like 1 subscriber per year. Math, people, good at math. But hopefully by the end of this video, if you guys are interested in starting your own channel, you'll have a couple things to think about, some stuff to consider, and hopefully a few tips that you can walk away with. Let's get right into it. All right, first thing, do not get involved in YouTube for the money. The money is not that good and it's only getting worse. I really don't know if people actually make their entire income just off of ad revenue. I'm sure there are some people who do, but we're gonna be talking about small channels to medium channels, because trust me, it's gonna take you a while to grow into that stage. For me personally, like I said, I've had this channel for 6 years, and for the first 5 of those, no one cared whatsoever. I was doing all kinds of what I thought were cool videos, just showing my lifting. I didn't speak to the camera, I didn't look at the camera. I was part of a job where I wasn't able to do that. It would be harmful for me to do so, so I never even looked at the camera. And let me tell you something, you can deadlift 1,000 pounds, and if you're not talking to the camera, no one cares. Nobody. Maybe your cat, he's probably just being nice. So it was probably a little over a year ago that I actually did turn the camera on myself, and I started speaking to it and talking about different techniques that I use, different methods that I use, things like that, and people started watching. People started paying attention, and I can remember it was a couple months after I turned the camera on myself and I started speaking to it, and I can remember I had 531, because it was 531, just like Jim Wendler's program. But I had 531 people roughly like a year ago. So now, if you guys, as of the time of this video, we're just gonna call it 50,000 viewers, subscribers. And like I said, I'm not very good at math. And what I believed was that if you had like 50,000 subscribers, that you were probably pulling in like $50,000 a year on YouTube. That is how my weird brain made sense of it. I was like, if you have 100,000 subscribers, I bet you're pulling in $100,000 a year. No, in reality, it's not even like 15 to 20% of that. Now, I'm just speaking about ad revenue. So if you do decide to start your own YouTube channel, I would use it as more of an advertising type of thing to push people towards your products or other streams of revenue. So for me personally, I have my gym. This is a great advertisement for people to come to my gym, whether it be open gym or sign up as members or do whatever they are going to do. It also gets me in the door for seminars. It gets me in the door for selling personalized programs to people, or online coaching, or t-shirts. I don't really make any money on t-shirts, but if I have other revenue streams and I have other products, then the YouTube channel is the perfect place to use that as your advertising. So to say that you don't really make money with YouTube isn't necessarily true. I will say that ad revenue is not enough to do anything with. Not, at least not at my stage. Maybe there's people who have literally hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Maybe those people can get away with just the ad revenue, but for me personally, it does not pay even like one of my bills. And don't get it twisted, I am not complaining. I absolutely love what YouTube has done for my life. It has really helped change it for the better. However, those of you who think that you can just pull up your iPhone and talk to it for 10 minutes and then throw up a video and you're going to get subscribers, that doesn't really happen. Maybe it happens later once you have built a loyal base. But at the beginning, you just put that much effort into your videos, no one is going to watch them. To give you guys an idea of one of my how-to videos, like that circus dumbbell video that I made a couple days ago. So I have about an hour of planning. Now, I do not write out scripts for what I want to talk about, but I do write out outlines. Otherwise, I just mumble and pontificate about absolutely nothing. So for this video, I usually take a piece of graph paper and I write out all the points that I want to touch upon. Now, I may not talk about all this, or I may talk about much more than this, but these are just the bullet points so that if I get lost in the middle of my train of thought, I can look down and say, oh, I'm talking about how long it takes me to make a video, see? This was very, very helpful. So it takes me about an hour to write out this plan. Now, how much I stick to that really depends on how I'm feeling that day or how the video is going. From there, I record it. Now, I still say taping because I was born in 1980, but I call it taping, but it's recording, right? So recording on average, depending for a how-to video, or for me personally, usually takes me about 2 to 3 hours of taping the speaking parts because I mess up a lot. That's why my videos are all jumped and jump cuts and stuff like that. You guys think that I am being funny or interesting. I'm not. I just can't hold my train of thought for that long, so I gotta chop it up. See? So I'm looking at 1 hour of planning and then usually 2 to 3 for the speaking part and maybe another hour to 2 hours, sometimes even 3 if it's a very intricate type of video for the actual moving parts. So I tape the entire voiceover first and then I come back and I do all the moving parts. Typically after I've done a rough cut edit where I'm just chopping down the very, very basic things that I need and I know that I need to show this at this point in time in the video. So then I tape all the moving parts. That again takes me another hour to 2 hours, but let's just say that takes 3 hours total for the speaking parts and the moving parts of the actual recording of the video. Then you get involved in editing. Now editing, a lot of people can do it much faster than I can, but I cannot afford to pay a cameraman. I can't afford to pay someone to edit my videos. So I do it all myself. It is very easy to learn if you're willing to take enough time to really spend and it's something you're interested in. And I didn't think that I'd be interested in this at all, but I actually really enjoy editing and making videos. But the editing takes me, I would say for a how-to video, approximately 5 to 6 hours total. Between chopping down all the speaking points to get the actual, an hour and a half of actual recording down to a 12-minute block is a good amount of cutting, and cutting takes time. So that is the speaking part, and then I have to overlay all of the moving parts, and it's gotta make sense, it's gotta be entertaining, and blah, blah, blah. So editing takes me usually 5 to 6 hours, and then you're looking at least another hour to 2 hours to render the entire thing and then upload it to YouTube. So rough estimate, for a how-to video, it takes me on average about 12 to 13 hours to produce that one video. It's so long. So if we're looking at like 12 hours per video, 3 videos a week, that is 36 hours. That is a full-time job just doing this. Now, again, I'm not gonna get too specific about the money because it's gonna be different for everybody because the rate of ad, how much money you get paid, the quality of the ad, all kinds of things, all of that comes into play when it comes to ad revenue on YouTube. But to give you guys an idea, I have 50,000 subscribers and I get approximately, and I'm just estimating here, but they're pretty accurate, I get about 14,000 views of my channel a day. Now, if you get paid $1 per 1,000 views, which is the going rate for people at my stage, I make approximately $14 a day on YouTube for working 36 hours, not counting the online programming, the online coaching, the regular coaching, the cleaning, the everything else that I do. So in essence, I'm working 2 full-time jobs. One of them I don't really get paid for because if you break down 36 hours into $14 a day, it's not good. You could definitely make more money doing other things. So do not get involved in making videos hoping that you're going to make a ton of money off it one day. That is exactly what I did. I'll be honest with you guys. I would love to make my living off of YouTube alone. Unfortunately, that's not really an option, at least not for me and my level of subscribership right now, but hopefully in the future it grows, and I'm really thankful for each and every single one of you, so thank you guys very much about that. But if you are interested in starting to make your own YouTube videos, I would tell you to start with the lowest grade equipment that you have already access to. So I made a deal with myself that I would not buy a new camera or lighting or a microphone or anything involving YouTube unless I could actually pay for it with the money that I get from YouTube. So for those of you who are relatively new to the channel, this camera is kind of a new addition that was probably about 6 to 8 months ago. Prior to that, I was using a camcorder that I literally got as a present like 10 years ago, and that is what the beginning of my YouTube channel, that was all from that camera. Sorry, I had to flip the screen around so I could read it. This is a Sony FDR AX33, and it is a 4K camcorder. This camera I think was like $800 or somewhere around that. That is pretty expensive, but not nearly as expensive as a lot of the cameras that people are buying for YouTube video that they're making $14 a day off of. It is not worth it. Do not put as much effort into the quality of your video production as you do into the quality of the content that you're producing, because it doesn't matter how terrible your footage is. If you have amazing content, people will show up. I think Alan Thrall was up to, I think, over 100,000 to maybe like 150,000 subscribers before he ever left his old camcorder that he was using. Now, when it comes to audio, I was given a Christmas present last year of a Rode microphone, and that's what I saw all the popular YouTubers using, and so I got it and I hooked it up to this camera, and the quality of the mic was actually not as good as the mic that is on this camera. So whether it be my surroundings, which I'm sure it probably is, it's very echoey and open air at my gym. So I don't know if that was a thing, but I don't even use that mic. So I just simply use the mic on the camera. And as far as like tripods and lighting, I open the doors and the sun is my lighting, and then the tripod was a cheap like $25 one that I got at Walmart. Oh, and then video editing software. Now, I know my editing isn't the best, but I use a free program called iMovie that came with my Mac. So I didn't pay anything for that. I paid $25 for a tripod. I did not pay anything for the audio, and I would not probably pay anything for audio. And then the camera I ended up buying with money that I made from my YouTube channel. So if you are going to get started, it is very important to focus on your content and getting better at speaking to the camera than it is actually trying to go out and spend $3,000 to start a YouTube channel that you may never make $3,000 from. So segueing right there into a conversation about your content,